Let's love them on love on them.
I'm good.
Are we doing Xfinity Read?
All right, we are live.
Hey, everybody. Hold on one sec. Sending a text message to my buddy.
Well, we're going to send it live.
Yeah, he's asking me if I'm going to ride my bike later today, and I'm letting him know I'm probably going to be podcasting. And just a courteous text. Tony Jr. asked me if there was any testing at North Wilkesboro coming up for the late model stock supers or the pros, but there is no testing scheduled. We're going to go right into the race when we go there for, I think, May 17th. Let me see. We were just talking about this on the show. Yeah, May 17th is the Cars Tour late model stock event at North Wilkesboro. I believe tickets are still available. On the 16th is the super late models, and on Tuesday. And the 17th is the Pro and the Cars Tour late model stocks. The truck race is the 19th or maybe the 20th. Anyways, that weekend's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be there for most of it.
We're going to podcast from there.
We are?
Yeah.
Yes, we are. Yeah. I'm
certain, all kinds of stuff
I'm certain we'll be doing some fun things. Since we got to practice on Tuesday, it'll be tough for us to get to the studios. You guys are going to have to come to me.
No problem.
All right?
No problem.
Anyways, Ask Junior is being presented to you today by Xfinity. Xfinity is a proud premier partner of NASCAR. We know that. And they also have this 10G network.
Yeah.
Like they just shot past everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Forget 6, 7, 8, 9. Went right to 10. And they're killing it, man. Xfinity does a lot for the sport. They do a lot for us here at the Dale Junior Download. And we're proud to be partners with them. If you don't have Xfinity internet, you need to give it a shot. If you're kind of wondering or struggling with what you got, I've had it. I've been a customer. I bought it years ago or a couple years ago. We talked about it on this show many, many times. And I've never had a problem, man. I have it on a remote. I have it at a remote location, so I need to see cameras on there all the time, and I use my phone. Never once has my internet went down. I hate that, man. You'll have that internet where you got to go reboot the router and stuff. Nobody else can do it. You're not there. You can't see your cameras until you get over there and fix it. It's such a pain in the butt. Never had that problem with Xfinity.
There you go.
And anyways, let's go.
All right. First question is, hey, Dale, how cool was it meeting Neil deGrasse Tyson and doing his podcast? I found it to be a neat crossover.
Come again?
Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Yeah.
Do his podcast?
Where did I meet him? I don't know. I met him somewhere in an event we were both going to. He was invited to an event, so was I, and I'd recognized him and knew who he was, and he asked me if I wanted to go on his show. And we were talking about racing and physics and NASCAR, and he was asking me about certain things in our sport. And so I thought, yeah, it'd be cool. Let's do it. So we ended up going on there. I enjoyed it. Guy's super cool, super nice, and he's way smarter than I am. Yeah. He's usually the smartest guy in the room.
All right, this next one is, based on your new experiences with Amy and Mike's courageous battle through the Grand Canyon, what is something both of you have always wanted to do but haven't gotten the chance to do?
Me and Mike?
Or both of you guys individually? Or together?
Well, one thing I'd love to do, haven't got the chance to do, I think for me, broadcasting the Daytona 500 would be one thing I'd love to do once. Also, owning a car and pushing it out to the grid for the Daytona 500.
Oh, yeah. That'd be
pushing
cool.
a car out to the grid. This is my car. I'm in the Daytona 500. We're gonna win this thing. We're gonna win this. Like, talking to it like
Harry Hogg.
Harry Hogg, yeah.
Yeah.
I got you a special mesh set of tires.
We'll shape you like a bullet.
Yep.
That's fun.
I could totally see Dale talking to his car.
Yeah.
Damn right.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Do you have anything?
This is anything, right? Like
Anything.
I mean, my bucket list right now at the top, I want to go to Israel. I want to go to, that's just me personally.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna
Now
go,
you opened my mind up a little bit.
Yeah,
Traveling.
I mean, it's traveling.
Yeah.
You're right.
Traveling.
I want to go. I went to Germany to learn about the Earnhardts, and I want to go to England to learn about the GE family, my mother's side.
Yep.
That would be fun to go. I know kind of where they originated from. And
Yeah.
It'd be cool to go there.
Nice, awesome. Based on the race yesterday with Martin Truex Jr. and James Small, they got into a little yelling match during the race, and then he went on to win. So, Dale, can you remember any infamous, kind of screaming matches you had with your crew chief?
Are you kidding me?
Every week?
Did it end up positively like
Maybe.
Martin's
I don't
or?
know. Yeah.
Yes. I remember them.
Okay. Me and Tony Jr. would sound and fight exactly like that. I mean, Tony Jr. and I we're like brothers, and when we were, the funny thing about it is, back in 2004, we were still of the mentality that really no one else was listening to us. We didn't have, scanners were a thing, but social media, apps for NASCAR where you can really just mash a button and start listening, none of that existed, right? And so even if we did yell at each other, cuss, rarely did it become a thing. Rarely did it become this public thing. Fans would hear it, maybe chatter about it on web, message boards and stuff like that, but that was about as far as it got. Maybe a writer might comment about it, but they weren't tweeting about it, right? None of that stuff existed. And so we felt like we had freedom to be like, hey man, you're an idiot. I hate this call you made, or fix this freaking car. This car's a piece of crap. I'm trying my ass off. We would get into it, and you had to. God Almighty, you're so angry. You're hot. You're miserable. You're fighting this car every freaking corner. Going in the next corner is going to do the same stupid thing again, and you're mad about this. And you're like, come on, man, I've been telling you for 200 laps. Fix this thing. And he's like, I've been listening to you for 200 laps. Shut up. I'm tired of listening to you. We tried things. We tried some stuff. We got some new stuff we're going to try. Shut up. Wait till the pit stop. And so I'm getting back in that motion, the motion just thinking about it. And it wasn't fun. It wasn't not fun. It was necessary. Like, I was talking to Jeb Burton. So Rubbins Racing on Twitter put out this video of me cussing. They're like, Dale Jr., 75 greatest drivers. This is the version of him that they must prefer, me cussing and carrying on. And Jeb Burton sent that to me laughing, and he said, man, it feels so good to push that button. And he's right. Like, man, I tried yelling into the middle distance, right, without mashing the button on the steering wheel. It's not as good. It doesn't really, it just doesn't do the same thing, right, when no one hears it, right? And so, you got to mash that button and cuss the guy in front of you or some other driver on the track, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. I got two more for you. The regarding the Ross Chastain and Brennan Poole, Kyle Larson thing. This next question is, when do you think I'm sorry is not good enough for Ross to get away with it?
Yeah. I know I do believe that Ross has remorse over that, but I don't know that he knows any other way to drive. What he did was not good. What he did was a mistake. He admitted it. But I don't know that he knows any other way to race or approach a race or drive, or I don't know that he knows any other way to be behind the wheel, right? Drivers race. No, you can't expect all drivers to jump in a car and everyone go out there and drive identical. You take everything with you. You take your personality, you take your mental approach, you take whatever's bothering you that day, you take, you got up on the wrong side or the right side of the bed. All that shit goes into that car with you when you strap in to race. And you have good days and bad days. You have good mental state, bad mental state. All of that is going to come out. You see body language. When you're out there racing on the track with other cars, you see body language, and you see anger and frustration, and you see a guy who's on a mission and a guy who's just ready to freaking get this race over with. You can tell the way they're making moves and what they're doing with their cars. And some people and most drivers are very consistent in what you see from them, right? And that's just how Ross races. We raced him in the Xfinity Series, Mike. And man, if you run around him enough and bang into him enough, he starts banging back into you and he doesn't let it go. Remember him and it was at Watkins Glen a couple years ago, him and Algar. That was their whole goal. The whole race was just to get each other back. Somebody had to get the last lap. And, that's Ross's, that's who he is. That's how he's going to be. I think that he genuinely does have remorse for what happened, because he used to drive for those teams. Not that specific team, maybe, but he used to drive those type of cars. He used to show up and hustle it in those back marker cars, and he knows what those teams are trying to accomplish and what they're doing and what they're up against. I think I don't know what to tell you. The other thing I gotta say is I don't want Ross to change. I'm not saying I love what he's doing. I love him wrecking people out, and making mistakes, but gosh, if somebody's not doing the things that Ross is doing, God, can we get a few more of those guys? Can we get some more people out there making mistakes? It's a great race. I enjoyed the Dover race, but that moment with Ross was very entertaining.
Can I just add to that? Kyle Larson brought up an interesting point, and I agree with him. It's like nothing ever negative happens to Ross. He does these things, but he keeps on going, and he dang sure about wins the race every time. However, Kyle Larson did introduce a new way of getting to Ross. Maybe you don't have to kick his butt like, these drivers that have no intention of doing anything actually say after a race. But he did very much disrupt Ross's chance to catch Martin, and he was coming. He could have really caught Truex yesterday, but Kyle Larson did pay him back in a way that I did think that, is completely fair, and he didn't even admit to it, but we all know what he was doing. He was totally making it hard on him. And so I thought, while Kyle Larson said he never suffers anything negative, he kind of did yesterday, and it was thanks to Kyle Larson.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think that Ross will have the record for being threatened to have his ass whooped
without actually
having his ass whooped.
Right.
He's going to have that record this year. I know of two off the top of my head, but I'm sure there's one or two more.
Just this year, there's been two. Yeah, for sure.
I don't know that I don't like what he did. I think it was wrong. I thought it was equally as entertaining what Larson did to impede his progress late in the race. Ross did the mistake he made, wrecking Poole, brought us to that moment, which was also equally entertaining. I mean, it's part of the drama in the show, right? If Ross doesn't make that mistake and Ross becomes the squire boy, we lose all that.
Yeah.
Not that we love what he did, but do we want to lose it?
Yeah. Is actions detrimental? I know this because Denny taped last night at 9:00, but is actions detrimental out right now? So Denny, producer Travis told us, I said, what did Denny have to say about that? And he says, it's interesting. Denny said that what Ross did to Brendan was not too different than what Denny did to J.J. Yaley.
Yeah.
He goes, it was kind of the same thing. The only difference is that Ross has a track record of continually doing these things and has a history of it.
Yeah.
So he didn't think he did that on purpose, of course. Yeah. The way Denny didn't do that on purpose, but you just have to develop a reputation.
That's another. I hate to do this, man, but we don't. I would love to see the throttle trace on the fifth on Poole's car. I'd love to see the throttle trace from many laps before and that lap. I know he was racing the 3 for position. Maybe he lifted a little sooner than Ross expected. But, Ross wrecked the shit out of him. He drove through him. It's absolutely Ross's responsibility not to do that in that moment. But why did that happen? Ross didn't mean to do it, but how did he end up running in the back of this guy, getting into the corner? Just a mistake and trying to learn particulars about exactly what throttle and all that, how that all happened might help answer some questions as to how that mistake came about. But honestly, man, Ross has a mentality that he takes inside the car that is his, and it's unique. And we've We give him a lot of airtime. We talked about him all last year. We've talked about him ever since he came in the Cup Series. We've criticized him. I think that as much as we are critical and talk about all the things he does, I really don't want him to do anything different. I don't want Ross to change it, how he's racing and what he does. I know I wouldn't like to be out there and be mixed up in some of the things that happens. I wouldn't want to be Larson in that scenario at all. But as a viewer and a broadcaster and a fan of the race, you got to have guys like that.
Yeah,
you got to have people out there that are going to make those mistakes or race people a certain way and mix it up a little bit, make it entertaining, make it interesting.
I think it's a good way to end Ask Junior.
All right. Yeah, we went long on a couple of answers there. Sorry about that. So if we didn't get your question, I'm certain we missed some great questions today. Appreciate everybody tuning in. We had a great episode going. We're going to wrap it up here. But
tell them real quick, Denny Hamlin Bracket Challenge is now available.
Let me do that.
Yeah.
So
while we're still live.
Yeah, let me go. All right. So it's happening right now, right?
Yeah, it's out.
It's out. All right. So it's out right now. Go to dirtymomedia.com. Look for the Denny Hamlin Bracket Challenge. Denny's talked about this on his social media, and now it is happening. It's real. It starts today. It started at 10 a.m. The cutoff is right before the start of Sunday's Kansas race. So you need to get your bracket filled out fully before that race starts this weekend at Kansas. It's a 5-week bracket, driver versus driver. You pick who you think is going to beat who each and every week. Pay attention to the racetracks as we go from week to week, and you're picking your drivers, and you'll fill out your bracket. I have William Byron winning this 5-week bracket over Ross Chastain. Wasn't intentional. That's how it worked out. I started from started at the very beginning, just filled it out, who I thought could beat who, and that's where I'm at. I don't know how all y'all are going to fill y'all's out. Good luck running second to me. I don't get to win the prize, apparently, because I'm somehow involved.
You're ineligible.
Ineligible somehow, some way, which isn't fair. But anyways, I reckon it'll go to second place. Mike has submitted his bracket as well. I noticed you filled one out and you spelled your name intentionally wrong, which is
I know. I didn't know that was
a weird thing.
Yeah,
that was so weird.
Yeah, I know it was weird. I have decisions in my life that I regret, and that was one of them.
Yeah, mine auto-filled.
It did.
Yeah, Mr. Dale Earnhardt Jr. Yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah, I'm weird. I am weird, dude.
You are weird.
Yeah. So, anyways, Denny Hamlin's bracket challenge. This thing right here is going to blow up. This is going to be the way we find entertainment and fun and new joy in watching every single race, because now we're watching positional battles between drivers. I can't wait to do this with everybody Sunday. I don't know where I'm going to be. No, the Derby is Saturday, right? Is the Derby Saturday?
Derby Saturday.
Yeah. So I'll be sitting at home enjoying this.
Yeah.
Great. I can't wait. That's going to be fun. Denny Hamlin's bracket challenge on dirtymomedia.com. Just go to the social media handles for Dirty Mo Media. Denny's probably tweeting about it as well. It's easy to find. Make sure you hit the big orange button. What does it say?
Big orange button.
What does it say?
Fill
out your bracket.
I don't know.
Enter here or some shit.
Click here to
enter.
Yeah.
I missed it. on an iPad, it's a small button. On a phone, it's really big. But don't forget to hit that first.